The Hat Trick Hockey Podcast is brought to you in part by Howie's Hockey Tape, the world's highest quality hockey tape. Use the promo code HTH Podcast in all caps to save 10% on your order of long-lasting hockey products from hockey tape and wax to laces and socks. That's HTH Podcast, all uppercase, to save 10% on your order of Howie's Hockey Tape. What's going on, all you beauts and beauties? Welcome to the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast, brought to you by GL Heritage, the official beer of HTH. I am your host, Brett Hedges, along for the ride with my two favorite guys, Mr. Hockey Google himself, Tristan McGuire, and the creator of the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast, Anthony Gaudette. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Before we start the show, make sure you guys follow us on all of our social media channels, pump up those subscriptions to our YouTube channel, and of course, support our sponsors because they support us. Save some money while you're at it. Use our promo code HTH Podcast at biosteel.ca to get 20% off your order there, and use the same promo code HTH Podcast at Howie's Hockey's Tape to get 10% off your order there. So, gentlemen, good to see you.
This BioSteel,
Fun times,
man,
tasty.
Blue Raz BioSteel, I'm telling you, is my favorite kind. It's so good when it's ice cold.
Yeah,
it's great on the golf course. It's great at work. It's great at home. Everybody, seriously, use that promo code. There's lots of great flavors. My fridge is always full here. You guys know that when you come here, fridge is always full of BioSteel. So check those out, guys. Holy shit, has a lot happened since we last talked.
for sure. And speaking about BioSteel, I had some Rainbow Twist when I was doing the Windsor Lancers football game. They hooked us up with some BioSteel, and it was absolutely tasty. I really enjoyed it there. Little bit of a recap from everything around the everything but the PJHL that we've been doing. I did the Windsor Lancers football playoff games the last couple of weeks, and unfortunately, they lost in the OUA semifinals to the Queens Gales. It was an incredible broadcast. I got to do that with the former head coach of the program, Joe Demore, and I got to learn a lot from him. That was a lot of fun. I got to do some other stuff. But this past week, me and Ant got to do some other stuff, and we'll open the show with that. We did our first kind of wraparound coverage with Coach Co, and we had a very interesting night, didn't we, Anthony? Won't you kind of try and set us up here, because we haven't told Tristan about what happened in that game, and I think
I'm completely blind to this.
Yeah,
so
no,
So you don't know, Tristan,
really
you don't know
away.
what happened in this game. So was it SEMA? I want to say SEMA scored like two goals, like a minute, and actually they weren't even a minute apart. They were like 30 seconds apart. Spits were down too early. I mean,
Which
early.
always happens whenever we
Yeah.
whenever we do their games. They always go down at least a goal or two early. They
Yeah.
scored 40 seconds in, and then SEMA scored like another one 30 seconds in.
Yeah,
So
he
it's 2-0.
scored at 40 seconds in, and then he scored at 1:13.
Yeah.
So it was literally 33 seconds apart. Math guy.
Windsor versus Saginaw, by the way.
Yeah, Windsor Saginaw. Windsor got down really early. They gave up 2 goals in a minute and 30 seconds or whatever. So then get into the second period, it's like 3-1 or something. We get about midway. And then there's an offside at the line. It was like a weird play, offside at the line while the player
Puck bounced.
Yeah, it was a puck bounce or whatever, okay? I heard the whistle. So I know the player on the ice probably heard the whistle. Well, if you want to draw a crowd at a really, really good success rate, shoot the puck after the whistle. What does he do? He goes in, goes top shelf on New Love, who just came into the game 20 seconds prior, maybe. Just came into the game, goes top shelf on him after the whistle. Well, all hell breaks loose, okay? There's gloves flying everywhere. Everybody's pairing off. Next thing you know, we hear, oh, we're going to have a goalie fight. So the goalies meet up at center ice, helmets off. They're trying to get at each other. Well, the ref gets in the middle. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs in the studio, like, let him go. Let him go. Because you know me, this is like
prime time, baby.
Hockey boner fully raging for me when stuff like this happens, right? And was like, And I was screaming in the studio for that, but the ref gets in the way, breaks everything up. Then they sort everything out. After it, the only call that went up on the board was the 2 minute for the shooting the puck after the whistle. Everything balanced out, everything offset. So Windsor's on a I think it went to it was a 4-on-3 power play. So
Okay.
Windsor's on a
Something
four.
either way, yeah, either way,
Yeah,
Windsor's
either
got
way, it
a
ended up there was something going on prior to that, but it ended up it was 4-on-3 for the Spits. So Woodall's on the ice. He feeds Belchez, I
Belchez.
want to say. Belchez scores. So it's now 4-2 or something like that. No, it would have been 3-2. Would have been 3-2. Next thing you know,
No,
we're
it was
like,
4-1 when New Love came in because Joey gave up 4. So
yeah.
this was the power play to go
So it
to,
would have been
yeah, they
four to
scored.
4-2. And then so then what happened? So then they're like looking at it and everything. Well, then they realize, well, Carson Woodall was on the ice. Well, Woodall was one of the ones that was involved in the scrum and got a 2 minute and 10 minute
What's going
misconduct.
on?
Or up a man or whatever they score. Woodall's on the ice. Well, then the rest realize, like, oh, well, hold on a minute. Well, Woodall was involved in that scrum, so he should have been technically off the ice. He should have been back into the dressing room. So what do? They call the goal back.
Serious?
They
Oh
call the
my.
goal back and send Woodall off the ice. So I have never fucking seen this in my entire life. And Brett and I were saying on the air that we hate to put anything onto the refs, but that was the refs messed up there. Like they should have made sure that everybody was off the ice. It should have been off the ice, and whoever was in the penalty box should have been in the penalty box. So
How
yeah,
did that, Kay, how did that come to their attention?
Well, because
because
Woodall
Woodall got
Woodall
an
set up the
assist on the
goal.
goal.
No, how did it come to their attention that he was on the ice, but there was no penalty assessed to him?
So
It was
they
though.
forgot
He
to
was on the
send
sheet for a
him to the
2 and a
penalty
10.
box.
They just forgot to send him off. And Carson didn't. I don't know how he thought he was coming out of that with no penalties. He was one of the first ones in there, but yeah, it was like it was just straight chaos. I've never seen anything
Yikes.
like it in my entire life. I've never seen like I don't even know is that how the call is generally made if something like that happens. Now, what I was thought was going to happen was when they sent Woodall off the ice was in minor hockey, even like if something, let's say, messes up to where like your name's not on the game sheet or something, right? If your name's not on a game sheet or whatever, you get tossed for the game. Like they're not allowed to use you if your name's
Yeah.
not on the sheet. So originally I was saying to Brett, I'm like, is he kicked out of the game now? Because I didn't know what had happened. It turns out they were just sending him off to serve his because he got a 2 and a 10.
And
So,
there was
but
only like
there
9.5 minutes
was a
left in the
lot of
period.
2s and 10s given out in that,
Hmm.
but it was
But
just
yeah.
a wild scene.
And Woodall had just like he had a sick dangle and like backhand snipe
Yeah,
in the first period. So
yeah,
like he was feeling it. He tried to do a Michigan in the first period.
yeah.
Like
I saw that. I actually saw that. Some OHL highlight instant page, I don't know, posted it's like Carson Woodall trying to Michigan, D-man Michigan would have been crazy. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I knew that was the game you guys were calling. I didn't realize there was so much of a
Oh,
kerfuffle in this match. Wow, second period, it sounded like a nightmare in and of itself.
it was wild. Yeah,
I've
Ant
never
ended up
seen anything.
Ant ended up clipping that and putting it on the page. It's got like over 50,000 views
Yeah, it's
because
crazy.
like
Shooting the puck after the whistle though, that's crazy. Especially going roof.
oh yeah.
I mean, he
Love-
went bar
But it was like
Mexico.
it was yeah.
So he must have not heard the whistle.
Yeah.
He heard it. I heard it.
Because
There's no way he didn't hear it.
yeah, but if you go up and do that, you're just stupid. It'd be one thing if he like rolls it in from the circle
Oh,
on
no.
the ice
He
out
ripped
as
it.
like a taunt.
Backhand,
ripped it, yeah.
forehand,
It was-
top shelf.
Who was it?
It was Dima Zhilkin.
Yeah.
Oh, the younger
Yes.
Zhilkin? Like Danny's brother? Yeah.
And so Windsor and Saginaw had just played on Sunday, and he got a hat trick and then the shootout winner.
Mm.
So like he's like one of their top players, and they have another guy, Nikita Klepov from Russia. He just came in the CHL import
Yeah.
draft. He's
Yeah.
unreal too. He had
He had
2
two
goals in that game,
Mm.
and
Cool.
it was just crazy. So yeah, you see like the big scrum after, and like when you look at the clip, like Whittle is the first one in there, like getting in this guy's face, right? And so it's funny that like no one came over to put him in the box because if you're not told that you have a penalty, like why would you go to the box by yourself?
How
Like
did they not notice the offset count of players? That's what I'm
100%.
wondering.
So it's either so the refs missed it, the people in the penalty box missed it, realizing that there's two guys in the box for Saginaw and only one guy in the box. Or sorry, it was Saginaw would have only had one guy in the box because each of those players, each of the four players, or each of the three players got sent off for the 2 and the 10 because it was 9.5 minutes left in the
Yeah.
second period, right? And
Right.
then so Carson does this like zone entry pass, and so we're thinking like originally like they're like all like huddled up at like center ice. They're like I don't know what we're
Yeah.
thinking that it's offside. First of all, we're like, oh, okay, they're reviewing like the offside, like the zone entry. Then we're like, well, it's not offside. That was clear. Like, there's no way he was offside. They're like, oh, okay, maybe it was goaltender interference. Like, we're looking at the replays. Like, there's no way there was goaltender interference.
Yeah.
Like, no one's even close to him. And they come back and they're like, yeah, we should have given 2 and a 10 to Carson Whittle, and he set up Belchez for the goal.
Would
So
they would they not say it over the PA?
well, this is just the broadcaster, right? Like,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah, but I'm saying the in-house
They
announcer
they
wouldn't
they
it be
had
like
done. I think they had done everything. It was on the sheet. It was
so they'd be
everything. They
like
did
Carson
everything
Whittle
but send him. They did everything but send him off the ice.
offset roughing penalty,
He got
but
2
he's
and a
literally
10.
on the ice.
4 of them got 2 and a 10. The goalies got 2 each for leaving the crease, and then Buddy got the original for like shooting the puck off.
yeah,
Roughing
he
in a
was
game
enforcement.
misconduct, and he's playing.
It wasn't a game of fun,
No,
just
he
a
just
10.
got 2 and a
Oh, okay.
10 because there was like 11 minutes left, so they were
Okay.
sending everybody off. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
just
And this is
wild
second period,
scene.
right? I thought, yeah.
Just yeah, just crazy, and it threw off like kind of like the whole trajectory because it was like okay 4-2, okay Windsor's back in it. Now they reset the clock to where they would have been before the goal or whatever, and then Windsor like goes and scores like immediately after, like 9 seconds later they score again. So it's
That's
like
awesome.
Carter Hicks sick
Puck,
goal.
the puck don't lie.
Exactly. So it's back to 4-2 after all the confusion. It's like 10 minutes later now at this point. And like okay, they finally send off Whittle and they come back. Windsor ends up losing 6-3 because it just wasn't their night. Sure again for Saginaw kind of
Yeah.
didn't stand on his head, but he
It,
was there. He made
it
46.
never is in Saginaw.
Yeah. And these games, it's yeah. This goes back to years now where they just always get down early and they always have to come back in Saginaw. Like the one game that you and I did, Tristan, last year, we saw Protas score a hat trick in the first period, right? Like and it's just of course like
Craziness.
we're like going in blind sort of like because
Yeah.
we have to absorb everything from their broadcast and get
Right.
everything that
And
we can
it's,
from the website. And the
yeah.
website wasn't uploading too. So like we're
Yeah.
in our segment being like, okay, well this is
And
what we
I was
think
literally,
happened.
yeah, like as we were in the middle of our thing on air, and then everything popped up. So then we started listing penalties on who all got what, and then we all kind of like figured it out. But it was just like just straight
That's
chaos for our
awesome.
first game of the year. Definitely
Yeah.
one of the more wild ones we've had.
Yeah.
That's good.
We've
I'm
had
glad
one.
for you guys.
Yeah. And we've had one where the game doesn't
We
the
had
feed
one we didn't even
not
get to see the game.
yeah.
We
So at
had
least we
one
got
where it was, or well, I had one where it was like 9-3, and I'm sitting there just going, well, Windsor's hoping for the first overall draft pick.
yep.
Like, I remember those days just
Yeah.
well, a year and a half ago, and now here we are. So,
Yeah. So
Mhm.
we wanted to get your like natural reaction to the whole like confusion that happened. Like it was wild. And like the whole time, like we're talking to Cliff, who is our producer, if you guys don't know. And he's like, I've never seen that either. So he's been doing this way longer than we have, right?
they
Yeah.
He's been
missed. How do you do that?
I've never seen that in any level of
I
hockey.
was just gonna say that if you like,
It
if
was
you're
just
the
a big
ref,
oopsie.
It was crazy. And
Oopsie.
then of course they play the next afternoon against Flint and they just wax them 5-2.
yeah,
So and then Liam Greentree gets a hat trick. Everything is fine. Like everything is good. It's the first time they lost back-to-back games all year, right? This Windsor team's first in the conference, right? Just one of those nights where just like, it started off weird and it got weird in the second, but like the whole like goalie fight in the middle of the second period, I was like, oh, like this is, are you not entertained? Like this is what we do this for, right? Like
Mhm.
this
Yep.
is why you got to play the games. You can't just like do an auto sim like you can on MLB The Show 3 and just,
Oh,
just play the game.
we didn't even talk about that too.
Oh yeah, the World Series. But yeah, we wanted to open that up to just
Mhm.
to get your reaction about
Yeah.
the whole
Weird
OHL
scene.
thing and like it was crazy.
Hmm.
So we hope that everyone that watched at home, I don't know, maybe there was like 6 or 7 people that watched at
Yeah.
home because there was a baseball game going on
Yeah,
at the
we
same
were on at the same time as Game 7 of the World Series. So, for all those diehards watching us, thank you.
Yeah, we
Because
appreciate
let's
it.
face it, we were watching the World Series as soon as we left.
Oh yeah,
So,
we were all like, all of us like even, well, respectfully, we were like, okay, game's done now. Okay, it's time for us to leave.
yeah,
Like
we're out.
usually we go for a bite to eat or something after. We're like, nope, yeah, drive me home. Like
Yeah.
drop me off. It's like he's got the game
Cameras went
in the
dark.
truck.
We were out of the studio in about 13 seconds after the cameras went black. We were gone.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Ant was a nice guy and he even like wrapped up his mic for them too. I just left
Yeah.
mine on the table.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was the were you guys happy with the result of the World Series?
Oh, I thought Toronto had it won like 6 or 7 different times, man. It was crazy. Like the whole the play at the home plate where it was a force out and Kiner Falefa's like foot is like 2 inches away from it being a World Series win for Toronto. Like you couldn't ask for more entertaining and like heart-stopping baseball because
Hmm.
Toronto a bunch of different times had that game won.
Yeah.
Hoffman is 2 outs away, maybe 5 strikes
Oh,
away or 4 strikes away from Toronto winning it, and he gives up a solo shot to Rojas. I mean, Ant, you're the baseball guy. You played the highest level of baseball of anyone that I know. Like, talk to me about how tell us your thoughts on this.
Well, to me, when that guy got thrown out at home,
hmm.
if he would have took a bigger secondary lead and was
Yeah,
gone because there was
Yeah.
one out,
Why was
right?
he so
So
close to third base?
if he had a bigger, because what he should have done, Biz hit it right on the head. Like it would have been the exact way I would have done it. For however far the guy at third, like the actual fielder, for however far he's off the base, you're halfway, like you're half the thing from
Half
where
his
yeah,
he
distance.
is, right? So that way, if he gets a line shot hit at him, you can still get back and this and that.
To the bag. Yeah.
If he does that correctly, if he's off the bag another 2 strides, we're not even talking about this, and Toronto's world champs,
yeah.
right? So, and that's what I mean. Baseball is a game of inches, and it showed it right there. The whole did we talk about the ball on the wall thing?
No, because we haven't
Okay,
recorded yet.
like that was to me like that's like I get it if the ball's lodged in there. To me, the guy should have to go in and make an attempt to grab the ball. At
Yes.
least make an
Yeah,
attempt.
just threw the hand
And
out.
then if it gets stuck or whatever, then you throw your hand up if it's hard to like pull out. Because there was one years ago where it was sitting at the bottom of the wall. I believe it was a Cubs game, and the ball was sitting at the bottom of the wall, and the guy did that, and the ump walked over and gave a little kick, and it was lodged loose the whole time, and the ump just said no. But back to the Jays though, to me, like you got to play small ball. Small ball wins championships. You get runners on, you bunt them over, you drive them in. Then you get 2 shots to drive them in. They had bags loaded, 1 out. I think it was 1 out in the ninth, right?
Yeah.
Why no safety squeeze?
Not even that. Just like I said, Buddy running. It was just mental errors, like base running errors. That one at third was big. Like if he was, and that guy was subbed in for Bo. So he's in for his running expertise. Why are you a foot off the base when now you got to go another 89 feet? Like,
Yeah.
if he's 5 feet off the bag there, like I said, if he's where he's normally should be, Toronto would be world champions right now,
Hmm.
without a doubt. No, because when that ball got hit on that play, the guy kind of fumbled it for a second. Like he couldn't get it out of his
Yes.
glove right away. And the throw wasn't really the best either. And the guy's leg went up. It's right. Remember the leg went up and then it came back down on the plate.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
was the same play, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so if he would have had that lead when the foot went up, he would have been coming across home plate. That's would have been the fucking timing of it. Like
Wow.
it's just crazy. But putting all that aside and everything, and just the way the series went, and the series that guys had, and the way some of the big dogs really showed up when they were supposed to, that was probably one of the best World Series I've probably ever seen. And that was
Oh, oh, for sure.
like it
Very evenly
every
matched.
game was like pretty exciting. Even the blowouts were exciting because all the big dogs were hitting homers, right? So there was a lot of home runs in that series. Holy shit. And game 7 over 1.7 billion dollars in total contracts went to the mound during that game 7. 1.7 billion or
Wow.
something with a B
I think,
to the mound.
yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Well, we'll talk about big numbers. I guess they said like I think they said 27 million people were watching it in
Oh yeah.
Japan and like I think it was like 7 or 8 million in Canada alone were watching it. And then they gave like the Japanese numbers. I'm not sure what the North American numbers were, but like
Probably
holy
insane.
cow.
Oh, it was crazy. The funniest thing though that I saw was someone made an edit online. I forget who was at the mound, or sorry, not at the mound. Someone at plate, but it's Otani pitching, and it's showing like the dollars per second they're making.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was batting, but they're making like a league min contract,
Oh,
and
it was
it's got
you Savage.
yeah, yeah, it's like one, two, three, and Otani's just going up by thousands of dollars each second.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on? Like for that pitch alone, how much money was made or whatever, and the final numbers, the disparity was
Dude, it was narrowed down where he makes
a
like
few tens of thousands of dollars.
yeah,
It's like, are you
per at
serious?
bat.
In just 25 seconds, it's like, what the heck?
Hmm.
And that at bat, it's like, man.
Made
I
about
wonder how much the interpreter bet on that game. Oh, everyone forgot about that, didn't
yeah,
they?
he probably had
We
one hedged
we
too in
know
case.
Shohei can speak perfect English. We just can't prove it.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it was incredible, and I like obviously I'm not a true like tried and true Blue Jays fan, but I
Right.
do have a lot of friends that are, and I felt real bad for them. And like I
Yeah.
even wore like I've got a couple like Blue Jays like cutoff shirts, and I wore those on Friday and Saturday for Game 6 and Game 7, and I swear I jinxed them. The reason I wore those shirts and I jinxed them. So
Mm.
like my one friend, I wasn't even allowed to like text him during the games because every time I would, like something bad would happen to the Jays. So I had to go to my other friend Pat, who is also a huge Jays fan. And after they lost in Game 7, he's like, "Yeah, next year you can't text me either." Like,
I don't think they're gonna be in the World Series next year.
oh, but like, oh, it would have been
Yeah,
so cool. Like, especially them being at
they're
home
It was
and the
that
whole thing. Like,
close.
dude, it was 5 strikes away or 4 strikes away. It was crazy. And like Hoffman, like he even said it in the post game afterward. He's like, "Yeah, I cost everyone here a World Series ring. I'm really sorry, and it sucks."
Yeah, when Buddy
But he'd
homered
been
it
lights
in
out.
yeah, when that guy homered in the ninth, I just like my jaw dropped.
Yeah,
Like it's just
because you
like, oh,
got you got home before because you and I left the studio. It was like top of five, wasn't
I
it?
was home by like the seventh.
Yeah, unreal.
Perfect. It was good.
Ah, them's the breaks. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jays fans,
yeah.
but better luck next year, I guess. Like that's the worst part about it is that like yeah, like you just got to move on to next year now, and it's like oh, but like that was such a good series and that was so
That's
entertaining and like
that's baseball.
that's baseball.
Hmm.
yeah. You we'll transition to the NHL, Brett. I'm imagining is your next thing. So
Hmm.
you mentioned being at home. I want to throw a stat line out there
Oh,
because
Please.
I watched this game last night to start it off. So Carolina Hurricanes played New York Rangers yesterday evening. Pyotr Kochetkov comes in for his season debut after coming back from injury. He makes 26 saves for a shutout on the New York Rangers in Madison Square Gardens. Of their 6 home games this season, the Rangers have been shut out 4 times on home
that's
ice.
fucked.
That's crazy.
Imagine being a fan. Not only do you have to go and watch your team get shut out, but you have to watch their captain be JT Miller doing it.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's wild, dude.
what a collapse for that franchise.
So,
You go from the outlook 2 years ago being cup contenders to now, what is this? Igor Shesterkin has no help on that blue line. Adam
Hmm.
Fox suddenly became, well, I don't want to throw shade in any players, but he's just not good. He's a
so,
shell of himself.
Adam
Yeah.
Fox looking like Brett Hedges on the back line there.
so would you, if you're them, are you gonna start making moves?
Oh, yeah. Artemi Panarin, send him to Chicago. Book it.
They
Maybe he
love Brett in
comes.
Chicago.
Didn't he? Hold on, Panarin. Didn't he play with?
Kane, yes. He's not coming to Detroit, man.
Yeah. No, he's coming to Detroit. I'm
Not for
calling
eleven
it
and a
now.
half
He's
million.
coming to
No.
Detroit. The bread man's gonna be making bread and over in Motown right at center ice
No.
at fucking LCA making pizza dough.
I wouldn't want that.
Why?
He's still got like 2 years left at that much money. It doesn't make sense. It
So
I
you
doesn't.
mean,
have the Rangers retain some cap.
We're but why are you doing that for a guy you'd want if you're like a cup contender and you're just coming into when you're gonna have to pay your young guys? I don't think it's wise because then you're giving up draft capital to get a guy for now, but okay, maybe that gets you 1 or 2 rounds ahead, but you're still not winning a Stanley Cup.
What if he's
And I'd
willing to
rather
sign
use
on?
that draft capital to get a really good left shot defenseman. As much as I love Simon Edvinsson and Albert Johansson and Bernard Docker, or whatever left shot defenseman we have, I still think we have can get better ones, a lot better ones. But
the
Hmm.
things that I think we're gonna talk about on this show, and then Ant completely goes left field, like bring the bread man into Detroit, and then we're like doing this fantasy booking.
Everybody's coming to Detroit.
Yeah, everyone, bring all your goalies. Give us six
yeah,
or seven more
Yes. We'll
goalies.
trade you 4 goalies and whatever. Give us the bread man and we'll be good to go.
they have the best goalie in the world,
That's so true.
Well, we have
arguably.
like 7, so we can give up a couple.
Hmm.
We have a lot.
Well, I'm very sorry for the New York Rangers fans out there. That sucks for them. But know what doesn't suck? Being a Detroit Red Wings fan right now. So a few days ago, after they were at the 10 game mark, they were 7-3.
Mhm.
And at that time, that was the best 10 game start to a season since 2010. And now they are 9-5. They lost last night. From the time of this recording, they lost last night to Vegas 1-0. Whatever. They got four
It's
of
a
six
close
on
game.
the West Coast swing. And dude, they're looking pretty good. And at the other side of the 401 in Toronto, things aren't looking very good because it seems like they're without their star player. So like, what a big juxtaposition we have there, right?
Hmm.
Mhm. I
Oh,
love it.
for
Tell us your
sure.
thoughts, young man.
And I think it comes down to a lot of people. I mean, this could still fall apart.
Of
Hot
course.
starts, we've seen it happen with Detroit, where that middle of the year, January, it's like, okay, they're bringing themselves back down, and then March hits, and they go 1-9, and it's like, oh. But is this the year they finally do it? Yes, and the reason I say that is because they have depth at every position now that they haven't had in past years. They can afford to have two, three, 4 injuries up front and still have the pipeline there to back it. Like
Hmm.
you have Austin Watson, who's more of a tough guy performer in the AHL, but even then you got Sheldon Dries, you've got the young guys Nate Danielson, Amadeus Lombardi. Any one of them can slot in. You still have young guys on your roster, and the older guys can take those games off when needed. Like your James Van Riemsdyk, who's playing in the bottom six. Kop's not that old, but he probably should sit more often.
Is Patrick
Uh,
Kane still hurt?
yes, and Kane. There's a prime example. So a top six winger goes out. What happens? No strain. You've got a guy, Emmett Finney, is playing first line right now. He's 19 years old. So, or he's 20 now, I think. But it goes to show that you have players who can play all over. Like those guys who are in between the lineups, I love them because they kind of slot anywhere. Elmer Soderblom is one and Jonathan Berggren is the other, where
Mhm.
they're league min guys, but they still are good enough to play at any position and not be a hindrance.
Would
And that's
you
something last year's we haven't had where it's like, oh, the Red Wings call up Kyle. Oh, I can think of a perfect example. Kyle Crisco. Okay, you call up Kyle Crisco.
Ooh,
Exactly. Yeah, this guy's like in the NHL Hall of Very Good or something like that. There's this meme page online, but anyway, he has like 300 AHL games under his belt and like 20 NHL games across 10 years. So you get the gist of what I'm saying, where
Mhm.
it's not
would you take
ideal in
one
the
of
past
those
for some.
guys that are kind of up and down all the time? Well, not up and down all the time, but guys that are will eventually see some time in the NHL with Detroit. Would you maybe take like one or two of those guys and a couple draft picks and trade for that left shot D man? Like an NHL ready defenseman? Like ready
I
to
don't
go
know if I
now.
what?
Like I mean a guy like ready to go now, a guy currently in the league. Would you trade for anybody possibly? Is there
Those
anybody that comes to mind?
that position is hard to find as it is, and I don't think any team that possesses that player would be willing to get rid of it.
Hmm.
Um, the only guy who I can, well, no, he's a right shot, I think. Wait, is Brendan Montour a right shot?
I'll check it out right now. I'll look him up.
Because
one
I'm
second.
just trying to
Yeah.
think, like Seattle's struggling. Vince Dunn, is on that Seattle team. He could be a good player, but then again, there's no like, oh, actually, Ant, there is a someone that I would do that for. There is, and you know who it is?
Who's that?
Uh, this man played on the Saginaw Spirit, Pavel Mintyukov,
Mintyukov.
and
Yes.
here's why. The Anaheim Ducks came out of left field this summer and signed Jackson Lacombe to a crazy extension. He's making, what is he making right
I
now?
think
Mhm.
isn't he the one that's making 8 mil?
Yeah. So your left shot now? And so they got three elite left shots. Here's the thing: they got Minchikov, they have oh, it's gonna bother me. He played
Is
on the
Cam Fowler still on that team?
no, Fowler's in St. Louis.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
the Everett Silvertips had this player. He played on Team Canada, small defenseman, and I can't think of his name, but he is their other left shot. So I think Minchikov is the perfect guy to go. All right, writing's on the wall here. I'm gonna dip. Um, and I think that's someone you could take, maybe a first round draft pick and let's say William Wallander, who's in your AHL, so they still fill that AHL role. There's still
Yeah.
some upside, and then maybe you have to throw in a good player for the draft capital that it took to get Minchikov. I think he was in the teens,
Mhm.
or was he late? Was he before then?
He was a first round pick, but like he just saying he's a big body. He's a left shot. Like he was very impressive in junior. I have not watched him in the NHL because it's past my bedtime whenever his games are on. But yeah, that's a great name, and like I that's
For the record,
great
Montour
question.
shoots right.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Yeah, I just didn't know because the Wings have so many draft picks and guys that are kind of right on the brink of like coming up and can play full-time minutes in the NHL. So that's why I was wondering, well, if you're in need of a left shot defenseman, why would you not trade a couple assets away to get an NHL ready guy, you know what I'm saying?
100%. And yeah, Minchikov, for the record, to everyone who's listening, first round draft pick, 10th overall.
Oof.
So the Wings aren't going to be drafting 10th this year.
It'll be
But
12.
uh, but with that in mind, I think, yeah, I think a realistic trade is you give up a first, whatever, let's say it's protected. You got to give up Wallander, who doesn't hold as much value as he once did, but you could still say, oh, it's a name and he was a second round pick and yada yada yada. And then yeah, you've probably got to give up someone like an Amadeus Lombardi to
Now, would you?
really usher
Would you?
Minchikov out of Anaheim's hands.
Rock me Amadeus Lombardi, Flint
Yeah.
Firebirds legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, elite. The one playoff run they had, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. He
Mhm.
dominated, like carried hard.
Yeah, that was 22, I want to say. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
that was the year that Windsor and Flint played in the Western Conference Final.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah.
times. And then he scored like 5 goals in like the prospects game, like the like 7 weeks later or something like that, because they did the one in Traverse City.
Mhm.
Yeah, he jumps off the page for sure. He was a fun player to watch.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, shoot, boys, nice fantasy booking. I love it, and just throwing things out the left,
I'm trying.
just throwing things out the window, man. I love it, and great job, Tristan, being able to pick it up and slam dunk that shit. Um, the Leafs, even though they beat
Poverty.
Penguin, yeah, even though they beat the Penguins after being down 3-0 in the third period, their head coach still goes off on them in the post game. Like it just seems, even when they do things right, they're not doing things
They're
right.
soft,
I don't know. Things would be a lot easier if they were able to keep Mitch
dude.
Marner, in my opinion.
Dude, like someone ran over their goalie and everybody stood there fucking looking at each other. And then the goalie stood up and flipped over the net, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted to pile on, like
Hmm.
they're taking runs at the goalies. Everybody's standing there looking at them. They're not scoring. Well, they are, but they aren't. Like Matthews has been like, yeah, he's getting his odd here or there, but he's not like he doesn't look like the same awesome Matthews. Some people will be like, oh, well, he's playing both sides of the puck. It doesn't matter, man. Like it's
Shooting into the crest isn't playing both sides of the
yes, the
puck.
goalies and I know, hey, the goalies in the league now have fast chests. Okay, so but it's just I don't know. It's not
Gotta
Toronto
watch
just
out for the
doesn't
pest.
doesn't look like the same team that we're used to seeing over the past 4 to 5 seasons. Has the window closed? Personally, I think so. I don't care what anybody says. You lose Mitch Marner, it's gonna hurt. I don't care what any Leafs fan says. I don't care. I will argue until I'm blue in the face. And I'm not even a Leafs guy. When you get rid of a guy like Mitch Marner, who's your ultimate setup man, power play, penalty kill, big big situations. He seems to always be out on the ice, and then you take that and it's just poof gone. Well, who do you replace it? That there's that void. We've talked about this in like freaking previous shows. The void is still there, and it's noticeable. It's very noticeable, but not like now they don't have the cap to fill
Oh,
it. I still don't have faith in them in
Yeah.
net. I don't. I'm sorry, Leafs fans, but I just feel that the guys that you have, I don't think you have the right guys in net to make that long run. I just don't.
Hmm.
It doesn't help everybody keeps running them, and I haven't really got a shot to actually try to
yeah.
give them a run. But staying though, it comes from besides one. Am I just blowing smoke out, or am I like, am I on to something here?
No, no, you're right. And
You can't cover up bullet holes with band-aids.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's a massive hit, obviously, to Toronto offensively. But and what you said about the goaltending, I would agree, but just in the sense that like Stollarts is injury prone. If he didn't get hurt, or if he wasn't so tall, because tall goalies tend to struggle like that, I think he's a really good goaltender.
Hmm.
I do. I think he's in the upper half of the league. Um, but again, when you have a guy who gets hurt like that, it takes a toll on his performance with time, and he obviously he's playing less. So we'll see what Toronto does, but I don't think they'd ever trade within a division, but they probably should look for a reliable B option because who's it? Dylan Ferguson or something?
I'm
Mm,
not sure.
there you go. That just proves the point.
Someone,
Well,
If
anyway,
dude, if
I think
if you
I
don't
think
know, like
Montreal.
when I like it's who else
If
do they
I
have?
think Montreal's in a bit of a tough spot right now, goaltending wise, especially last night. Montembeault, he gives up 3 goals in the first period on 6 shots. But I think he could be seeing himself out of Montreal, and I think Toronto's the kind of team that would lick their chops and go, maybe.
Mhm.
Uh, and they're at a point where if they fall below 500 approaching Christmas time, if you still want another run at this, you got to do better than just Stolarts and, like you said, a Band-Aid. So, yeah, maybe Montembeault's the guy because Montreal's got Dobish, who's really, really good backup. And they also have Jacob Fowler, playing for Boston College, I believe, and he's incredible, like incredible. Or is in the AHL now.
Not sure.
I'm gonna look that up right now. But just you guys discuss amongst yourselves and to that point.
Yeah, they're just a way different team, and it's just and it's noticeable, like you said, and like losing a guy that's a 100-point guy per year is wild. While Tristan's looking that up, and did you see that clip that I sent you of Craig Berube fighting Rudy Postcheck in junior hockey back in the day?
Oh,
It
oh,
was just rock'em sock'em robots.
oh, snapping his head back like a fucking, just like, boom, like, boom, like a
And
Rock 'em
Pez
Postcheck
sock.
and
Oh,
Postcheck ended up playing for the Leafs and a couple of different players. He like rest his soul, right?
Mm.
He's passed away now. He had CTE so bad. He was later in his life, he was talking about a game that he was playing. He went out and fought somebody, and he got to the bench, and he's getting talked to by the trainer, and he's like, "Guys, I can't see. I
oh,
can't like I can't like I don't know like." He didn't say I don't know where I am, but it's like I really can't see. And they're like, "Oh, it's okay, Rudy. Like just you'll be okay. Just take some
walk it
time on the
off.
bench." And then they made him go back on the ice later. This was like in the 70s or something like that, 70s or 80s. He went out again and fought later again that night. And he was like, he had, I think he had ended up like 50 games where he fought more than once. And like he only had like a 7 or 8 year NHL career, but he just couldn't do it anymore.
Well, I mean,
But
that many fights, there that many games with two. Oh,
Yeah,
right there,
you're
100 scraps.
yeah. And so people that are watching right there, if you want to go see some like really interesting scraps, look up Rudy Postchek,
Yeah.
Poeschek. Guy could throw him. That was
I'll
entertaining as hell.
I'll tell you, if the Leafs played with as much heart as their freaking coach did when he was in the league, because that guy was fucking nails, dude. Craig
Oh yeah.
Berube,
Okay, you
nails.
guys can't tell me. Answer me this, okay? If you look at that guy long enough, he looks like the human incarnation of a possum, and you cannot like it's identical.
Mhm.
Did you find out about Fowler?
Oh yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, Feller is playing in Laval right now, so
Okay.
yeah, he's 4-2-1. No, it's true.
Awesome.
Yeah, look up a photo right after this and look at a possum, and then look at Craig Berube and go, "Oh my gosh!"
I would
Like,
never in a
Oh,
million years say that to him.
well, I
oh
wouldn't say it
no.
to Craig Berube, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't plan on meeting him anytime soon. So
that's true. Yeah,
great
like
coach.
for sure. If you're a Wings fan, you're pretty feeling pretty good. If you're a Leafs fan, you got to be wondering when's this team going to turn the corner, right?
They're 7-5-1.
They're not that bad. Whoops.
I know the
Yeah.
funniest part is we're sitting here, they're at 7-5-1, and we're talking like they're fucking 0-9-3, like it's.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because we're so used to seeing them always playing so well as of the past 5 or 6 years or whatever. Toronto's been like on a heater
Yeah.
over the past 5 or 6 years where they looked like one of the best teams in the league, where they look like they might make a cup run, and then we all know how that one went. But
Yeah.
sorry, Toronto fans. I have a lot of
It's a bummer.
Toronto fans in my life, and
I'm so
there's
glad a couple years ago we got them to shut up about the first round thing, only for them to get waxed by Florida right after that. That was the most satisfying thing in the world. Oh, we made it out, and they get pumped. Like,
Hmm.
well, I
yeah,
mean,
Well,
Florida's
it
like,
is only November.
yeah,
Small sample size, but I mean, I'm glad to be on this side of it rather than
yeah.
on the other
Hey,
side in terms of being a
I don't mind playing the heel against Toronto.
yeah,
So,
I
for sure.
mean, how
Toronto
sweet.
sports fans, how are you feeling right now?
Oh, just
Yeah.
not good. But I
Jays
mean,
fans are feeling bad. Maple Leafs fans are feeling bad. Toronto Argonauts,
Yeah.
they just lost their head coach to Ottawa Red Blacks. So Tristan's like,
freaking
"What's the Toronto
This guy
Argonauts?"
knows the lore apparently about the CFL, unlike anyone I
Yeah.
know.
It's just because it happened on the day of this recording. Um,
Okay.
we'll keep the NHL flow on for another day, boys. Let's chat some PJHL. We've got a lot to catch up on since the last time you all three of us recorded, and
Mhm.
I have the PJHL recap. So I'm gonna start ripping off some scores and some little recaps that I've written up, and you just stop me when you guys want to chime in, okay?
Okay.
Okay. October 21st, the Essex 73s hosted the Dresden Kings. Carter Dembinski was an apple tree, handing out 5 assists. Marcus Levesque had a hat trick plus an assist. Connor Hunt had 2 goals and 1 assist. Luke Shirk had 1 goal and 2 assists, and Burke Castles made 24 saves in a 9-3 win for Essex over Dresden. Colton and Cameron Graham did each have 1 goal and 1 assist each, but it was 9-0 before Dresden got on the board with a Nathan Reedhead goal with less than 8 minutes to go in the third period. Any comments on that game?
You were there, Ant.
I mean, that one was pretty well straightforward. It was just total Essex was just all over them. I think that was that coming off a loss too?
Yes, I think that was after the Blenheim loss.
Blenheim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we had
So yeah.
recorded on the Monday, the Tuesday,
So
the
possibly a little frustration in there too, but yeah, it was all 73s that night. Not really a whole lot to say.
Yep. Okay, October 22nd, Amherstburg went over to Wheatley. It was 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Corey Leach makes it 3-1 for Amherstburg at 3:23 of the third. Seth Zilstra scored his first goal of the year at 7:04 in the third to make it 3-2. Amherstburg then scored 2 empty net goals by Drew Booker and Rory Sanderson to seal the win. There was a spirited fight in this one by Cameron Robinette and Jesse Mercier in the final minute. Bennett Horrocks
Mhm.
made 27 saves in his second win for Aberg since being traded from Essex, and Ethan Davis made 22 saves for Wheatley in the loss. That's one thing that we didn't talk about the last show was the Bennett Horrocks trade for Jack
Oh.
Lewis. Can you break that down for us, please? Because we talked about Burt Castles getting signed, but not the Jack Lewis trade.
Well, yeah, so there was a player development fee as well that went to Amherstburg for Lewis.
Yeah.
So Lewis had a really good pedigree coming from Blenheim the past couple of years prior to now being in Essex. So he had been traded to Lakeshore, and then Lakeshore immediately flipped him to the Admirals. And with no report to the Admirals, he was promptly traded to the 73s in exchange for Bennett Horrocks and the player development fee. Now, boy, has Jack Lewis been a find.
Yeah.
Yes, I will get to Jack
Yeah.
after when we get into later into these picks. Okay, so
Mhm.
save your analysis on Jack. October 24th, Lakeshore and Blenheim were tied at 1-1 after 20 minutes before the Canadians scored 3 unanswered goals in the second frame to take a 4-1 lead after 40 minutes. Landon Copeland scored his fifth goal of the year midway through the third to cut the deficit to 4-2 for the Blades, but they would get no closer. Lakeshore's Dallas Kelly capped off a 3-point night with his second goal of the game with just over 2 minutes to play to give the Canadians a 5-2 win. Russell Vaughn made 26 saves on 31 shots in the loss for Blenheim. Bo Porowski made 24 saves and actually picked up a penalty for delay of game in the first
Ooh.
period during the win. The Moortown Flags, same day, October 24th, the Moortown Flags held a 2-1 lead until late into the second period before the Dresden Kings scored 2 goals in the final 2 minutes of the middle frame to take a 3-2 lead after 2 periods. They then scored 2 more goals in the third to earn a 5-2 win over the Flags. Johnny Moortown Chartrand made 33 saves on 38 shots for the Flags in the loss. Joseph Malinowski made 31 saves on 33 shots for the win for the Kings. Now, October 25th, we had Essex traveling to Amherstburg, and in a tight defensive battle, the 73's captain Jackson Fortier Smith scored midway through the second period to break a scoreless tie, and Connor Hunt scored late in the frame before Jack Lewis added an empty net goal to give Essex a 3-0 win over the Amherstburg Admirals. That was the first time they played this year. Brock Devlin made 25 saves for the 73 Shadow, and 16-year-old goaltender Landon Dimitrov stopped 37 of 39 shots in the loss for Amherstburg. Any thoughts on that game? I watched a bunch of this, but I'm not sure if it was my internet or the Amherstburg's internet. The game kept crapping out on me, so I didn't watch much.
No, Dimitrov played really well, like really well in that game in
Yeah.
particular. I know that. Yeah, and it was compared to the following Tuesday, a very tight matchup. You know, it's a really
To
good
me,
two-way. That Brody Gillis, man, he's really good on both ends of the ice.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, nothing more you can really say. I mean, we'll we'll get to the Tuesday, I'm sure.
Yes. Anything on that game yet?
Nope.
All
Go
right,
ahead,
cool.
keep going because we're still in October.
Yeah, exactly. I'm catching up on everything, and this is every game in the division since our last recording. So if you guys like this,
Oh,
like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure that if you
Smash
want
it.
to keep this going, get every single person on your team to like and subscribe to our stuff. Get those numbers up because I have something else on the back end of the show that I want to talk to you guys about too. But you guys got to help us out. Pump up those numbers.
Hmm.
Okay, October 26th, Blenheim. Uh, Yes. So Blenheim hosting the Wheatley Sharks. The Blenheim Blades sort of note to a 5-2 lead after the first period over the visitors from Wheatley. But just like the legendary Great White Shark Jaws, the Wheatley Olmsted Sharks kept coming back, eventually cutting the deficit to 6-4. But that's as close as they would get before Stefan Jacob scored his fifth goal of the year into an empty net to give the Blades a 7-4 victory. Jake Van Coyle made 25 saves in the win for Blenheim. Ethan Davis stopped 30 of 36 shots in the loss for Wheatley. October 28th, this is the rematch between Essex and Amherstburg, and this was a lot different than the game that happened a couple days earlier. Four players had 3-point nights, and four more had 2-point nights for Essex as the 73s beat the Amherstburg Admirals 8-1. The 73s pumped 45 shots on net, but the Admirals could only muster 14 shots in return. Essex goaltender Burke Castles made 13 saves in the win. Landon Dimitrov gave up 5 goals on 27 shots in the first two periods. Bennett Horrocks came in the third period and gave up 3 goals on 18 shots against his former team. Thoughts, analysis on the 8-1 win?
yeah, Essex was cooking.
Yeah.
That game is where the season took a turn and the 73s decided,
Mhm.
okay, now is when things go our way. Well, actually, that was probably the aforementioned Dresden game the week prior, but still,
Yeah.
this is the team we're familiar with Essex. Tripling a team's shots and really pouring it on. Um, they outperformed Amherstburg in every way that game. That's no shade to anyone on their team. It's just Essex is the better club, and they've
Yeah.
made, well, at least I shouldn't say the better club. They're the better team in that game.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. I watched the entire game. I listened to you guys on the call. It just top to bottom, it just wasn't Amherstburg's night. Like you guys were just all over them, scoring in multiple different ways. The boys were hot. If I was
Mhm.
gonna go down the breakdown of everyone that had a good night, I'd be here for quite a while. So, October 29th, the Blenheim Blades held a 3-2 lead late in the third period on the road in Wheatley before Tyler Trelo sealed the victory with an empty net goal for a 4-2 win over the Wheatley Sharks. Trelo and Andrew Goulet each finished with 1 goal and 1 assist, and Jake Van Coyle made 24 saves on 26 shots for the win in goal for the Blades. Adam Flanagan made 20 saves on 23 shots in the loss for Wheatley. And this one, there was a fight midway through the second period between Brendan McKay and Josh Chauvin. So if you
I
guys
saw
have your
that.
little if you guys have your subscriptions, go back and watch that one. I heard that was pretty
I,
good.
li-
So,
I like how
uh,
Brett points out all the fighting majors too. I'm gonna have to go
are you
back and
not
look at. I'm
entertained?
gonna have to go back and look at some of these.
Yeah, especially the one that was it was Amherstburg and Wheatley. Like when I first started like tracking these ones, I was like, oh, okay, like the late in the game, because you know what, I want to see if there's any receipts later in the season. I want to see if these are some of the same
Yeah.
guys that are fighting later in the year. And there's a couple more fights that I have breaking down later in these games. October 30th, Devil's Night. The Wheatley Sharks and the Walpole Island Wild went into overtime, but Wheatley held a 4-2 lead over Walpole Island after two periods, but the Wild stormed back with 2 goals in the third period to force overtime and earn their third point of the season. But it was Sharks forward Brennan Gwen who capped off a 3-point night by scoring his second goal of the game, 113 into overtime, as Wheatley earns the 5-4 win in extra time over the Wild. Nicholas Duranian made 28 saves and also had an assist for Walpole Island in the overtime loss. Ethan Davis made 30 saves in net for the Sharks. On Halloween, Bo Porowski had 2 assists and made 18 saves for the Canadians to earn the shutout in an 8-0 win over the Walpole Island Wild. In four contests, Lakeshore has outscored the Wild 30-2 in four wins against them this year. Same night, Blenheim and Dresden. Jake Van Coyle made 29 saves for the shutout for the Blades. in a 5-0 win. Jake Malinowski made 26 saves on 31 shots in the loss for Dresden. This one had a really good scrap. This one
Jack
was,
Tellier won.
yeah, this was
Or,
Casey
no, sorry,
Tellier.
not Jack Tellier.
Casey
Yeah,
Sorry,
Talia, yeah.
Jack's
this
the
was
kid I coach, but
yeah, this is Casey Tellier and Tyler
Casey,
Law.
yeah,
And this was
they,
after, I guess, Tyler Law got 2 and a 10 for a head contact, so
yeah,
maybe he
Oh,
had a hard hand.
he likes to run.
they
That
Yeah.
were,
that guy. Remember when he played Essex, Ant?
yeah.
Yeah, the first game of the year. That dress. Oh, I know that Tyler Law.
Casey was like they were exchanging knuckle
Casey was
soothers. These
Oh
two, it
terrible.
yeah,
was like,
they were both bloodied up as from
yeah,
what I remember. That was a Cam Sinasak video, right?
yeah. It was a great scrap. Cam, great job on the video too. Are you
Attaboy,
kidding me?
attaboy
Jesus.
sins.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Yeah.
great
sorry,
job.
Brett. Go ahead.
No, you're good, baby. November 1st, Essex went to travel to Wheatley, and after Wheatley defeated Essex a couple weeks earlier on their home ice, Essex repaid the favor. Marcus Levesque had 2 goals and 1 assist. Noah Matheson had 1 goal and 3 assists, and goaltender Burke Castles made 16 saves for the shutout. Final score: Essex 6, Wheatley no score. Same night, Moortown and Amherstburg ended up going into overtime. Owen McDonald scored 25 seconds into overtime as the Moortown
Oh,
Flags rallied for a 6-5 win over
incredible
Amherstburg.
comeback.
Amherstburg scored 5 goals in the second period, with Moortown trailing 5-2 late in the third. The Flags scored a trio of goals in just over 2 minutes, including a pair within 7 seconds to send the game into extra time. Caleb Roseal led Moortown with 2 goals and 2 assists. Landon Marcy also scored twice and added an assist for the Flags, with Lucas Ross adding a single. Casey Shoughton also had two
Oh,
assists.
he's so good.
Sorry
Sorry.
if I mispronounce anybody's names here,
No,
boys.
that's correct. Yeah.
Ethan Dunbar and Paxton Burney combined to stop 38 shots for Moortown, while with Burney stopping 18 of 19 in relief. Big win for Moortown.
Huge.
Also,
Um,
too, in Essex when they won 6-0 there at the Sharks,
oh yeah.
Cale McCabe fought Austin Frazier. They fought.
Okay. Thank you.
So
I
you
must have
missed
missed
the
that in the
scrap.
box score. I missed the scrap. Dash one for the
Yeah,
kid.
And
dash one.
also in that game, Burke Castle's first shutout.
Yeah.
That was his first shutout. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good for him.
I think he routinely has let in one or two.
Yes, you know what?
No,
I should have looked that up.
no, you're good.
Dash two.
November 2nd, we've got Blenheim and Amherstburg once again. Stephen Jacobs had 1 goal and 2 assists. Mike McKellar had 1 goal and an assist. Brendan McKay and Dominic Gore both had 2 assists for Blenheim as the Blades led 4-0 after the first period and rolled to a 6-4 win over Amherstburg. Brody Gillis had 2 goals. Freddie McRoy had 1 goal and 1 assist. And Stefan Georgievich had 2 assists in the loss for the Admirals. Admirals are in so many of these tight games, right? And you know me, boys. I'm an Amherstburg guy. Like I'm just trying. I'm rooting for my fucking Addies here, and I'm like they're in so many of these close games. I want to see them go on a run here. Same night, November 2nd, Dresden takes on Lakeshore in probably the biggest surprising game that I've checked out this year. Full credit to the Dresden Kings. They win 5-2. The Graham brothers, Cameron and Colton, both had 3 points. Cameron had a hat trick and Colton had 1 goal and 2 assists. Derek Nevels had 3 assists and McLean Norris had 2 assists as the Dresden Kings scored 5 first-period goals en route to a 5-2 win over the Lakeshore Canadians.
Oof.
Hunter Welk allowed 4 goals on 13 shots in the first period before getting pulled for Bo Borowski, who then later gave up a goal to Curtis Smith before the first period ended. Lakeshore opened the scoring with Nick Graniero lighting the lamp just over 4 minutes into the game. Then they gave up 5 unanswered goals. The Canadians didn't find the back of the net again until Owen Bentley scored with just under 6 minutes remaining, but it was too little too late. Dresden picks up their biggest win of the year as Griffin Taylor made 24 saves in a 5-2 final. Any thoughts on that one before I go to the last game?
It just goes to say what we've been saying all season long is no matter what rank you walk into, no matter what two teams are playing, you don't know what's going to happen in this
No.
division. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's
No,
tightened right up, and it's great. It makes it way better.
Brett, I'm not sure if you said this game already. I might have missed it, but Moortown won 7-1 over Lakeshore. I believe just 2 weeks ago. So
Let me double check that. Keep going.
Lakeshore has had a couple games where they've slipped to teams that I'm sure they would have wanted a victory over. And it shows, like Ant said, there's gaps for every team where you can get exposed really quick. Essex has had it happen a few times. Lakeshore's had it happen a few times. Blenheim's had it happen a few times. But those three are the ones separating themselves. And I'll give credit to Blenheim where it's due. They are 2-1 against Essex and 1-1 against Lakeshore. So they've had a really good start for themselves against the best competition.
You are 100% correct. I did miss that game on my rundown, so I am sorry to the Moortown Flags there. Because
That's
yeah,
right.
because it was 5-1 going into the third period, I believe it was, and your dad messaged us. He's like, "Moortown's beating Lakeshore, holy cow!" And I turned on the game. Um, one second, let me just double check everything here.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
they were
running
up.
up the score.
Yeah, it was 5-0 in midway through the second period there. Kyle Green scores to make it 5-1 after the second period, but this game was all Moortown. They scored two more goals in the third period to make it 7-1 in another massive game there. So on back-to-back days, uh not back-to-back days, but like on, in back-to-back weekends, Lakeshore's having a big a disappointing result there. I don't know what happened there. Obviously, it's getting to their goalies early. Hunter Walt gives up 37 in 37 minutes, gives up four goals on 22 shots. Bo Porosky comes in, or was it Bo that started? I'm sorry, boys. One second here. I missed
Very good.
one. Damn it.
You're good. It was a
Oh, it was
crazy
it
game.
was yeah, sorry. Bo Porosky started the game, gave up three goals on 14 shots. So he gets pulled after 247 into the second period. Hunter Welk comes in and gives up four goals in the rest of the game. Because he completed 37-13 there. So he comes in relief, makes 18 saves on 22 shots, but Moortown just all over them. This was actually, yeah, you know what? I had this one circled because Johnny Chartrand started the game. He gave up the one goal, and then with just over 5 minutes to go, they pulled him for Ethan Dunbar. So I'm not
Well,
sure if
he
he
got run.
hurt. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he got run at the end of that game. So
Because Moortown played the night before, and that was their game that they lost against Dresden. That must have been the Friday night, and then they hosted Lakeshore the next night. So Johnny Chartrand, because he is, from what I can tell from the box scores, I don't think he's played since.
uh, I
Because
don't
it says, yeah,
believe
Ethan Dunbar
so.
and Paxton
No.
Burney combined for their game again in their win against Moortown. That was November 1st, so that would have been the next weekend.
Right. Well, I don't know. I haven't really checked the box scores, but you're right. They did have. I did remember noting that they had two quote backup goaltenders playing the one evening. So yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been Paxton Burney and Ethan Dunbar splitting the game against Moortown. And then I'm just double checking here because yeah, that's their only other game since then.
Right.
So if that's the case, that's unfortunate because Johnny is probably the best goaltender in the province, if not one of the best of them. So big win for Moortown. Unfortunately, they lose their goaltender in the process. Hopefully, he comes back pretty quickly and helps them to a successful season there. So big two losses for Lakeshore, and we've still got one more game. This was the game that Jonesy and Ant called last night. This is Essex versus Walpole. The Essex 73s pumped 58 shots on goal to an 8-1 win over Walpole Island. Newest 73s player Jack Lewis scored in his sixth straight game and added an assist as eight Essex players had 2-point nights. Brock Devlin made 14 saves for Essex. Alex Simpson did score the lone goal for Walpole with less than 1 second remaining in the second period. Wild goaltender Nick Geranian made 50 saves in the loss. 50 saves. Hey, buddy.
Dude,
50 saves. Like,
it was
good for
nuts,
you,
man.
man. That sucks.
Yeah.
But, 8-1 final for Essex over Walpole, and that is the PJHL recap roundup.
Dude,
So Jack Lewis, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
This guy comes over from his trade, and obviously with the absence of Austin Gouvermont, who's been out with injury, um, Lewis is the guy who slots in there. In 6 games, he's got 6 goals and 5 assists for 11 points
Wow.
with the 73s. And not just that. So his total career with Essex, because he did play for the 73s before. Not too many people will remember it. He was an AP for 3 games um, back in 2022 to 23 that season. But he in those 3 games he had 4 points. So if you tally everything together, 9 games as a 73, he's got 15 career points. So he's a good player when he's wearing the orange and black.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude,
Is that good?
And he's
This is some
6'3
pretty
and
impressive
215
numbers.
pounds. So
someone scored a goal. I want to say it was Andrew Baker. Might have
Against
been
who?
one of the prettiest goals of the year too. Like Shirky's was nice too, shooting from the frickin' goal line there. But I mean, he made this move though, completely caught everybody standing still, and he went roof daddy on this shot. It was beautiful. I said the whole time, I was like, well, we might clip that one. I'll have to find it. It's right near
Oh,
the
this is
end.
the Walpole game.
Yeah, it's right near the
Yes, I
end of the
remember that. I
first
remember this
period.
reaction you guys had. You're like, "Whoo!"
I was just like, whoa. Okay, it was nasty. So I'll have to find it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'll send it into the chat. It was pretty dirty. I just seen the whole play but he did everything
develop.
absolutely perfectly. Perfect shot, the perfect move, everything. It was just beauty. I love it. King of Crispy. That's why we're rocking this right here with the crown, the King of
that's right,
Crispy
baby.
chain.
King of Crispy Chain. Um, I think it's safe to say that the SX73s are rolling right now, right, boys?
Yeah, they
I
are.
think that's what, five straight now?
Yeah. Since that loss to Blenheim.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Just keep it
they sit
rolling.
comfortably in first place.
Yes. Do you want me to recap the standings before I tell you guys my little idea I have at the end of the show?
Let
Yeah,
her
go on.
Okay.
rip.
For sure. Okay, so in eighth place, we got the Walpole Island Wild. 18 games played, 1 win, 16 losses, 1 overtime loss for 3 points. In seventh, we got the Amherstburg Admirals. 15 games played, 5 wins, 8 losses, 2 OT losses for 12 points. Sixth place, Dresden Kings after the big win over Lakeshore. 16 games played, 7 wins, 8 losses, 1 overtime loss, 15 points. Wheatley Olmsted Sharks, 17 games played, 8 wins, 9 losses, 16 points. The Moortown Flags, 15 games played, 8 wins, 7 losses, 16 points. And they also have 2 overtime wins. Uh, Wheatley also has 1 overtime win, by the way. In third place, the Lakeshore Canadians. You know me, I'm a Lakeshore guy. 15 games played, 11 wins, 4 losses, including those two, one to Moortown and one to Dresden recently. 22 points on the year, 78 goals for, 32 against for a plus minus of plus 46. In second place, the Blenheim Blades, 15 games, 11 wins, 4 losses, 22 points. They also have 1 overtime win, 57 goals for, 37 against for a plus 20. And in first place, the Essex 73s, 17 games played, 13 wins, 3 losses, and 1 overtime loss for 27 points. They are 75 goals for and 29 against. They have the best goals against in the league, and they are a plus 46 in goal differential. They also have the least penalty minutes in the division as well.
That's crazy because we have Shirky. Just joking. Love you,
And
Shirky.
it's not even
Yeah.
close. Like you're 67 penalty minutes behind everybody else.
I must say though, speaking of Luke Shirk, is he has been like a completely different player this year. And I mean, like, he's not in the box every game. He's scored some beautiful goals. He has set up some beautiful goals this year. He's playing like physical, which Shirky usually always does. But I've thought that he's really kind of reeled it in this year to where, like you said, he's not doing anything crazy.
No.
Sometimes Shirky gets into it, he gets going a little, but that's the part I love about his game. But it's just, I just noticed that he's a completely different player and in a good way. And I'm not saying in a bad way. I mean, in a good way. He's way more. valuable for the 73s when he's on the ice rather than him being in the box, right? So, and
Would you
he's,
say that he's refined his game?
I think he has, yeah. He's really
Yeah.
come out of his shell to where he's really been a now all around player. And I love to see it. So good job to you, Mr. Shirk. And his freaking warm up video was pretty funny too. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, I was. That's what I was gonna reference to. Like you talk about the kind of the zany energy there. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty funny listening to
Yeah.
the
Oh
commentary
yeah.
during the video there.
Hmm.
Um, and some big games coming up. You guys, Essex has the weekend off. Uh, and then you're going to be you're going to host Amherstburg once again, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
no games this weekend that I can see. You guys got the whole weekend off. You got to get a week off. You're going to host Amherstburg once again, and uh, and then you have a date with Lakeshore coming up, don't you? Yes, you're going to
Friday
play
at
Essex
home.
at Lakeshore. Oh,
We
sorry, you're going
play
to play
Tuesday,
Essex at
Friday.
home on the
Next
Friday.
Friday.
Yes.
Tuesday, Friday.
So the 11th and the 14th, you're going to have two Essex 73's home games there. Of
Do you
course, the full
guys?
schedule is at the PJHL.ca.
So Brett was talking about standings, right, in our division. So
Hmm.
from around the league, one team that's doing really hot. Um, they're one of two teams still undefeated. The Uxbridge Bruins. So they're 13-0 with 82 goals for and 26 goals against.
Jesus.
This might be the craziest stat line in the league right now. Wait till you hear this, okay? So their goaltender, Robbie DeMaria, he's got 8 games played, all right? He's 8-0 with a .54 goals against average and a 979 save percentage
Is that good?
and 3 shutouts.
That's wild.
That's an insane stat line. Like you're not beating that. I don't care if you're a forward with 2 points per game. A 979 save percentage.
That's wild.
Where has he played in the
So he might
past?
have given up 2 goals in one of those games,
We
maybe.
need to look
He's
this guy up. Where has he played?
he's an '05. He's only played. He's from Uxbridge, so he's a hometown kid for his team.
No
And,
way.
and last year he played with Uxbridge as well. Had a 2.58 and a 918. So
Wow.
maybe some of
And
it's
even
us.
those numbers are pretty good.
Yeah, but he's probably got a bit of a better team around him, and now
Yeah,
he's really showing what he's made of, right?
Hmm.
So a 979.
that's wild. He's our stud of the week.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
that's a
sure.
feud of the week right there.
Robbie
There,
DeMaria.
give him the chain, Ant.
I mean, we'll have to fight for the chain, but I'm just saying.
That's wild, though. Thank
Yeah,
you for pulling that stat. That's
yeah,
absolutely
that's.
incredible. Because there's what, 60 something teams in the Peach?
Mhm.
Yeah, and because I made note of the fact, I'm like, well, their team doesn't have any high scorers. I'm like, so their goaltending must be good or their defense. And I looked at their goaltending, it's like, oh my Lord. Like even the other goalie has a 1.8 goals against and a 933 in 5 games. So he's popping off.
That's incredible.
It's a good problem to have.
For sure. Can I tell you guys my idea that I have before we close the show?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. I have a bonus series idea, but we need all of our listeners to help us out first. So this is going to be an incentive thing. Once we hit a certain level of things on either I say once we either hit 500 YouTube subscriptions, whether we hit whatever these things come first. If we hit 500 YouTube subscriptions, if we hit 2K on Instagram, whether we hit 2.5K on TikTok, or if we reach over 8K on Facebook, I would like to start a series starting in 1966-67 where we or 69-70 where I do a year in the NHL, where I do a breakdown of the entire season. I cover the whole year, starting with a quick recap of the previous year, Stanley Cup champion, NHL amateur draft, regular season, playoffs, Stanley Cup champ, etc. All the small little things that go around it. And I do a breakdown of an entire season in the NHL. Do you think, and I'm asking you people out there in internet land, do you think that that is something that you would like? If you would like me to do that, comment wherever you can on YouTube, Spotify, you can comment on that. Send us a DM on any of our social media platforms. But the main thing you got to do, you got to help us pump up our numbers. Get your grandma's phone, subscribe to us on YouTube, whatever you got to do. all you guys that are in the Stobbs division here, we all know you got phones.
Yeah.
Hook it up. Put us on the YouTube
I'm
because we're
gonna
talking about
tag
you every
every
single week.
single team in the Stobbs too in the post for this episode, and a couple of the other teams that we've already talked about. You're all getting tags.
Well, because yeah, come on. Like if
Let's go,
you
baby.
like the PJHL recap that we just did there, hey, give it
Let's rock the
pump up some of these
PJHL.
numbers here, and we'll know that you guys enjoy it.
Mhm.
Okay.
I've
Some of the biggest
actually,
numbers that we've had are when we talk about other teams in the league because we're getting other people like when we're talking about the playoffs with Hanover or
yeah,
what was the
I've
other
actually got a few messages of a few fans around the league that are kind of they want us to go into and talk more about other teams rather than just stay here in the stop. So, I mean, if that's something that people are want us to do, like
Hey,
we'll
we
do
can
it.
do
Like
it.
we'll do
I
whatever
love
you guys
talking about
want us to do. If you guys want to listen and you want us to break down other teams and stuff like that, send us an inbox or something, or like Brett said, write on a post and stuff. We'll be more than happy to do it. We just want to make sure that you guys want us to do it. That's kind of why we stay in the stops. We stay to our area. We do the spits. We do this like that, the NHL teams in this area and stuff like that. But if you guys want us to go into more squads and do more teams and more leagues and whatever, bring it on.
Yeah, and to
what
that
do you
point,
guys like that? Do you
right.
guys like that
Yeah.
idea?
I do. And to that point, going around the league, I mentioned there's two teams that remained undefeated. I said Uxbridge. I
Hmm.
omitted the name of the other. The other one is the Alliston Hornets, who were infamous for that last
Surprise,
year,
surprise. Yeah.
as well as their playoff blunder.
Hmm.
True, yeah. Aurelia went up and
They won in 5 games.
yeah, that was crazy. Who was the
They
team? Who was the team that had the black and gray jerseys that we kept
Belfast.
that we loved them last year? I forget what off the top of my head. I forget what their name was. What was
black
it?
and gray,
Yeah, it
Napanee,
was. They were in the final. They were in the final four.
Napanee.
Yeah, it was
Napanee, that
Napanee.
was
Yeah.
it. I loved
Yeah,
it. Yeah, that was a fun team to watch.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
them
up
and
by
Hanover had a great series.
like east of Peterborough,
Mhm.
like
Hmm.
Kingston kind of. Yeah.
Man, I like some of the jerseys too. Like some of them like actually look like NHL like jerseys. Like I think Hanover was a little bit. It was like Calgary Flames ish.
It was like old school, like Atlanta Flames almost. Like, but they
Yeah.
had like the
Or
Yeah,
Cleveland
like that
Barons. Like
was
it was, yeah,
sweet.
Cleveland
I like
Barons,
that.
yeah.
I like
The
that.
old
Those
school
were
E.
cool. Yeah. Who else did we play too? Forget, I don't know. I watch teams on the
I know one
stream,
team that I'm not going to say, but uh
but
the
no, but
logo looks like it was drawn with a crayon.
yes, yes.
I watch you want to know who else freaking things I like, man? Walpole's got nice jerseys too. I like the
I
They
do like
do.
their
colors.
jerseys.
I like the
Wild,
colors. I
yeah.
like the logo. I like everything about Walpole's jerseys. Those things are sick, dude. I like those. What?
Amherstburg just switched their logo up
Yeah,
from
their logo's
Cannon to.
sweet too.
I like that.
I
I like the
like
new
the
look.
I like the I don't know what you call it, the Buccaneer or the Sailor that they have on there. That's a nice logo.
The
Mhm.
Admiral.
Yeah.
An admiral is
Yeah.
someone who runs a
Yeah.
ship.
Amherstburg did
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Those
sure.
jerseys are sick. I
Yeah, I
like
like
those.
it better than the Cannon. So full ups to them for the logo reboot. There, they've been there for
Mhm.
quite a. They've been what? How long has Amherstburg been there
It's
now?
been a bit, man.
7 8 years. It's been a
Long
minute.
time.
Good for them. Anything else from around the PJHL, the OHL, the NHL that you want to get off your chest? Any more World Series takes before we close the show so I can go to bed?
I mean, I think I'm okay.
What about you? You want to talk any volleyball stats, Tristan, or you want to?
Volleyball stats. My men's Monday night league went 5-1 this week.
There you go.
That
Boom.
boy,
Boom shakalaka.
proud of you. All right.
Yeah. We're rolling. We're rolling.
Good. All right. Until next time, thank you very much for watching the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast. I am your host, Brett Hedges. Thank you for watching us from Anthony and Tristan as well. Make sure to support our sponsors by support our sponsors because they support us. Make sure to use the promo code HTH Podcast with biosteel.ca to get 20% off your order. Use the same promo code HTH Podcast to get 10% off of your order at Howie's Hockey Tape. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and pump up those socials. Hey, who knows? You get some bonus series idea there, but we got to hit some numbers first. So let us know what you guys think. Send us an email. Send us a DM. Comment on the YouTube channel. Comment on Spotify. Whatever you got to do. Let us know what you like, and we'll see what we can do. Anything else, boys?
That's all.
All right. That's all she wrote. From all of us here at HTH, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Hat Trick Hockey. Good night.
I've lost my fight with time. My numbers up and up the line. I gaze at the darkness, so empty. Just looking for the light. Shout for help, but no one's there. Need a guiding hand, someone who cares. All alone in the darkness, I've realized for the first time I am scared. If I could do it all again, if I had one more chance, my friend, I would rewrite all my wrongs. I would find where I belong. I got lost along the way. I had so much more to say. If I could do